What's going on, guys? Non-intellectual intellectuals here, back for episode 3. So today we're joined by Hunter,
Back on the mic, ready for another episode.
Ryan,
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Josh,
Hello there.
shit intro again, and Robert.
What's going on?
Is that American?
No.
Oh, bro. Anyways, so this week we got something exciting in store. We dabbled into it the past episode, and possibly the first one, but it's definitely an interesting topic. So we're going to be chatting about a conspiracy theory today, and that is the simulation theory. So,
Do we live in a simulation?
do we live in a simulation?
Is anything real?
Yeah. It's a touchy subject because we do live in a simulation. So, but yeah, no. What are your guys' opinions on living in a simulation?
I think it's pretty interesting, to be honest. Like, it's I don't know what to believe, to be honest, but it's a cool theory. Honestly,
It's a plausible theory, I reckon.
yeah, very much so. But if we were, like, obviously we would never find out.
So, do you guys think it's like a very, very advanced civilization making a simulation of us? So, to compare it, it'd be like us playing The Sims. So, it'd be like these very advanced aliens playing The Sims with us. Is that what you guys believe, or what do you think?
I mean, yeah, that's like probably the only way it can happen. Or there's like, is it like one greater being fucking controlling all of us? Like just some,
bring it back to episode 2.
just some
And it's
big,
the whole
That's
thing.
literally all I think about when I play The Sims. It's like, is there someone like controlling my fucking
Controlling
character right now?
Yeah. Do you ever go
Making me
swimming
go through
and
shit.
you ever go swimming and they just remove the ladder to the pool and you just can't get out now? You're done.
oh, that's why I can't get out of pools in real life.
My operator must just
Overlord.
be my operator must just be a god at the game. He hasn't killed me off yet.
Do you think every person gets one like player? Do you think somebody else is like moving the sticks up there?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. If that's the case, I'd love to meet whoever's operating Rob. That cunt's got issues.
Yeah, but what if it is just one big fat cunt up there, just eating his donuts, sitting at his PC, just controlling everyone?
I doubt it. I feel like it'd be more like
I really
SimCity.
doubt that feeling.
Sim City,
so
reckon?
Yeah, because it's like one cunt controls like an entire population rather than like one-on-one.
Oh, so they have their own districts.
Yeah, that could be cool.
But why would they want to learn about the past in a simulation so detailed?
We're a game. It's not learning. We're just a game.
It's just trying out different outcomes.
One thing I used to think about a lot when I was a kid, and I'm sure there's a name, there would be definitely a name for this theory that I obviously clearly haven't researched, but one thing I did used to think about was how do I know that everyone I associate with on a day-to-day basis, everything I do, everything I touch, everything I learn, everything I see, how do I know that all of this was put here for me? Like,
You clearly
how
just
do I
watched
know
The
that this
Matrix.
how do I know that this person I'm talking to right now actually has a consciousness? What if it's like all in my head? You know?
Well, because that's a good question, but I think because we sort of relay that consciousness and we can sort of counteract that, and I can say the exact same thing as you said.
But that's what a simulation would say to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So am I lying to you right now?
I don't know. Are you?
I don't know.
Do you have something to tell me, Tonino?
I'm a fucking robot.
That'd be more like a Truman Show, which is probably
Yeah.
something I get more behind than a simulation, which is ridiculous.
I don't
Like
know, dude.
everyone's acting and like you're the star of a show. That'd be so
Yeah.
tricky.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm the star, boys.
I remember that essay we did on Truman Show in Year 9, and when we were watching the movie, and that chick he was seeing, not his wife, but the one he cheated on his wife with, when she come onto the screen for the first time, I almost cracked a fat right there, and then she was so hot.
This kid's fucking hormones are raging or some shit. How'd you come onto that?
ISO's making me feel some type of way, boys.
How's this though? So I read this shit and it's like, what if every time you have vivid dreams, like those dreams we were talking about in the last episode, the ones that you really like remember and it feels like more than real life, what if those dreams are your actual real world and our waking world is the simulation?
So I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, do you mean like these dreams that are clearly not realistic, or do you mean
I
like
mean-
deja vu?
Yeah, like deja vu, like dreams that seem so real that it's almost that it almost feels like real life. What if that is
But why would our actual world be exactly the same as our simulated world? I mean, like obviously there's not an answer to that, but that's just kind of what I'm thinking on these lines.
And also on deja vu, how does that happen? Is it a glitch in the Matrix?
Yeah, is somebody gonna unplug me into this big red goo bath and I get souped up by Morpheus there? How'd you go watching The Matrix, Salts?
Oh well, not good to say the least.
You need to watch it at least 10 times.
Yeah, that's what I feel. That's how I felt. But I got like an hour and a half in, so only like half an hour left. But I just couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. So I ended up having a nap pretty much until the time we started this podcast. So, but yeah, no, as I said to you boys in the group chat, I was just fucking confused as all shit. I was like, what is going on here? Like, especially in the first half an hour. Got a little bit clearer after that, but yeah.
You're just not woke. They just don't want you to crack the simulation code and understand what real life actually is.
That's like, I don't know. I was a bit surprised by The Matrix. I thought it would be a lot different. Like the way people talk about it is it's one of the best sci-fi films of all time.
Mate, it is.
So,
It is.
It's still pretty
yeah.
sick.
Yeah. I thought it was, I don't know, for some reason it just wasn't how I thought it would be. Like, I didn't think it had anything to do with artificial intelligence or anything like that. I just thought it was purely focused on like a simulation controlled.
You look at it now and it's probably not that deep. I guess if you were living in 99 and computers were all the rage, you'd be like, whoa, this is like really opened my eyes to what could be happening.
Yeah,
because
there was sorry, go Hunter. Go.
There was so much like mystery about computers and technology back then because we didn't know what we were capable of. And this is why a lot of scientists like Elon Musk and Neil deGrasse Tyson are kind of like behind the simulation theory, because they go, well, look how much we've advanced in the past 70 years. Like, obviously a simulation will be possible if we keep advancing at this rate.
Yeah. But how so if we do keep advancing, right, and we get to the stage where we can simulate reality 1-to-1 and everything feels, looks like real life, is and we control this character, is that going to be the start to the simulation or a simulation in a simulation?
I'd say there's many simulations already, because why just run one? You want so many outcomes. Right?
we could be in like the 10th simulation.
We could be in the millionth simulation.
Bruh.
Does that open up your mind?
I got this this quote from Elon Musk.
He's spoken a lot about like Matrix.
Yeah, he's spoken a lot about like he's big on the simulation theory. He says that he reckons in the future that like video games will be indistinguishable from reality.
Oh, for sure.
Shit.
So like you'll be in a video game and not even be able to tell like any difference from real life.
Even VR right now is like, wow, it's so real.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up.
Think about it in like 100 years, like
it'll
just be so real.
Yeah, well, that's I guess that's what I mean. I guess like this could have already happened a million times, and we're just the product of that millionth time. But
Yeah,
everything
could you
feels.
imagine if what you think is our Earth and every
Can't
human
hear.
thinks like, sorry?
Hey, yeah, go on.
Oh yeah, like our Earth, and like this is so important, right? But this could just be like the 700 simulation, and so it's kind of like you're playing 2K, and you have this 2K My League where you actually play, and then you have one where you just simulate. So like we don't matter to these big alien overlords.
Yeah, that's scary
Yeah.
shit, bro. That's scary shit. But what do you?
Yeah.
If it's
Sorry, Tanino, go.
it's a big rabbit hole if you like start thinking like, oh, we live in a simulation, so nothing matters anyway. So I'm just gonna fucking do stupid shit. Um, 'Cause that's an easy way to go about it. Like, I guess it's easy for people like us to think about simulation and be like, oh, it's very plausible. But like the people that are like, I don't know, struggling every day and like, say, people in Africa who can't even survive on food, they're like, that's not even crossing their minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just to get back to like the not like the Matrix though, like yeah, that's so true that it just didn't like watching that. I was like, oh, that doesn't seem plausible to me. But whereas the simulation theory does seem kind of plausible. So I think it's true what you said, Hunter, that back in 1999 people would have been able to be like because computers like what I'm trying to say is the hype and the fear around like computers and artificial intelligence back then was a lot higher than what it is now. So I can see why people would be more torn up on that movie in particular back then than what we would be today.
But
go ahead.
Yeah, do you think that like we thought that about like computers 20 years ago? I think loosely what the Matrix is based off of is this allegory by Plato of the cave. Did any of you guys come across that? Plato's The
No.
Cave.
No
So
idea.
basically what Plato says here is that three, or I guess it doesn't really matter how many prisoners are chained to a cave since birth, and all they can see in the cave is shadows on the wall. So the shadows, what they see on the wall, are what they think is real because they can't see anywhere else. Like they can't move their heads; they're chained in this cave. And if a prisoner was released from the cave and able to see the outside world, they would probably go back to the cave because they prefer the comfort of their reality. And that was like
Yeah.
in 500 AD. So
That's
It's like that. It's like that scene from The Matrix where fucking forget his name, but the black dude with the glasses,
Morpheus.
Yeah. When he gives the two pills to Neo, it's like, oh, this red one's this will awaken you. This will show you the truth. And then shows him the blue pill and says, you take this, you can go back to, what you perceive to be reality. In reality, I think the majority of people probably would take that blue pill. I'm not going to lie.
I would.
I think they would.
I think the thought of knowing that there actually is, that we are living in a simulation, that there is something else out there, would be too daunting to leave. Like 100%. Like I'd definitely stay.
What about this, boys? If someone offered you the choice to go and live in a simulation, like wipe all your memories before this, and you were living in like the perfect world, but like none of it was real, would you choose to go do that?
Ooh.
Rob? And even though it's like you wouldn't know it was fake.
It's just like
but none of it's real.
It's just real life to you. It's your reality. So
yeah, it's your reality.
So it is real then. What is real then?
What defines the perfect world as well?
It's what you define it as.
Yeah, like whatever you want it to be, Connor.
Yeah, but I don't think I would take it.
I think
part of being mentally healthy and mentally stable as a human being is having to work for what you want.
Josh, Josh, this simulation eradicates those thoughts and emotions. because it is a simulation. So everything.
like you'd be, I feel like you'd kind of be being a prisoner to your own head in that sense.
But
I think you need challenges in your life.
But you don't perceive those. You don't perceive these thoughts. Everything you experience is your reality. So therefore, like you'll have true happiness because it's simulated. It won't feel like it's fake.
You won't know you're in a simulation.
Yeah.
You feel like real world, but it's just like it's kind of like a perfect world. No poverty, no disease.
Okay, so my question to you boys is, if we are living in a simulation, why isn't everything perfect? Why isn't it everything that you want it to be?
Because the overlords want to mess with us, man. Like, there's plenty of these instances of things that just don't make sense happening, like weird news, like Trump being elected, or like Brexit. Like, just the things that whoever is on the sticks up there is like, yeah, I'll just chuck this in there and see how they react.
Elected. He's just fucking laughing his ass off at it.
It's like
all the stuff that's happening right now.
It's like putting Rob in the simulation. They're like, here's a fucking thing to go around. No, but what you were saying, why isn't everything perfect? That again could be just a matter of tricking us into believing that we aren't in a simulation, because we can raise that question, as we did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Boy, if everything was perfect, then we'd think we were in a simulation.
Yeah, that's right.
So designed to make us not be suspicious.
I don't know, dude. It's a scary thought, because there's nothing to prove that we aren't, but also there's nothing to prove that we are.
Well, I assume you all are a bit skeptical, as myself, but I did come across a couple of pointers that do make it seem more that we're living in a simulation. So, the Mandela Effect. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah,
I have heard of it, but I can't quite say what it is.
The basic gist of the Mandela Effect is that some people claim to remember that Nelson Mandela died in the 1980s when he was in jail, even though to us, or to some other people, he actually died in 2013.
Dude, I've heard about this. Shane Dawson talked about it in one of his conspiracy theory videos.
Shane Dawson.
No, he did. There's like heaps of them. Like you can look up the most famous Mandela effects right now.
Yeah, do you know the Queen one?
What's the Queen one?
It's where it's for "We Are the Champions," the song. Everyone believes the song ends on "of the world," which it actually doesn't.
I'm so sure it does. It's not even funny.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
what is it, Rob? You're the Queen master.
It's just, it just doesn't say that part. It just ends it before.
What does it say then?
Well, I can't remember. It's just "We Are the Champions," I believe.
Yeah, I think it is. But what does the Mandela Effect even, like? How does that explain simulation theory?
Because sorry, go.
Sorry, to answer that question, it explains the simulation theory because what people are proposing is that this is a glitch in the Matrix. This is that's a Matrix glitching out and making us believe something that isn't actually there. Another one, for example, is the Star Wars one. You ask 90% of people will say to you, "Oh, what's that famous quote that Darth Vader says to Luke?"
This one.
And they'll say, Darth Vader says to Luke, "Luke, I am your father." But no, in the movie, it's "No, I am your father." But people, even Star Wars fans, swear on their life that the way they remember that movie from the first time they watched it was Anakin going, "Luke, I am your father."
So why? Why is that?
No one knows. No one can explain the Mandela effect.
Is
That's
it because
why it's so interesting?
Is it because there's I don't know, problems with the simulation? Is it the way different people perceived their reality, or I don't know.
Or it's maybe the people running the simulation are just changing the past to what they prefer.
There was this thing that I read. It was like after 2012, everything felt different or something. Have you
Was
seen?
that because the Mayan calendar was ending on that date? It was like the December something 2012. So that's why
Yeah.
people thought the world was going to end, because the original calendar.
Yeah.
Gillard.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Pretty funny movie though to think about. Do you guys remember like being in 2012? And I remember the night, and I had the weirdest experience on that night because it was either the day it was meant to happen or the day before it was meant to happen. I think the power went out and we all kind of freaked out.
Yeah. Everyone was like, "Nah, it's fake as fuck," but like subconsciously you're shitting yourself.
Exactly. And we
It's
all
like the
making
same kind of
jokes.
thing. It's like the same kind of thing as when The Matrix came out, because it was 1999. Everyone was freaking about the 2000 computer effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Where-
Y2K
The clocks,
bug
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, Y2K. Yeah. So like that, the whole thing with that was that all these computers that humans had created, there was no way to program them, or they hadn't been programmed to switch over to 2000 because of the new the new number at the start. So everyone thought like all the world's internal servers were going to crash and shit, and it was just going to be like riots and panic.
That's
and
the
mass
dumbest
hysteria
shit
and
I've
all
ever
that.
heard in my life.
Yeah, but
I mean,
people
that could
believed
have
it back
happened in
then,
an
bro.
alternate simulation.
Yeah. That's
It's
why
real.
That's why Rick and Morty's my favorite show.
You're of higher intellect than us because of Brick and Mortimer.
This is correct. Brick and mortar. Yeah, I don't know. It's a I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. It can be true, but I guess it's just, I don't know, live your life, because who the
Not
fuck
another
knows?
fact bomb. DNA tests that contain computer viruses were found in 2017.
What?
Bullshit.
Bruh.
University
What do you
of
mean?
Washington. University of Washington proved that they could embed malicious computer code into physical strands of DNA.
That's fucked.
How?
That's ridiculous, bro. That's crazy to think about.
I didn't read too much more into it, but yeah, I thought that was pretty fucked.
Wait, so why would they want to embed computer code into DNA?
I don't know,
Then
to
you
see
could
if
plug a
like a
fucking-
computer virus could manifest as an actual virus.
Because then
I
you
have
can
no
plug
clue.
a fucking HDMI cord into someone's butthole, and then it's just uploaded to the computer straight up.
Yeah, right.
It's a bit scary that like some of the greatest minds, like you said before, Elon Musk, and who was it as well, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
They say it's more plausible that we are in a simulation than not. Like, that's pretty scary shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
think
Well,
that's
yeah,
good.
there's no way to prove we're not living in a simulation. I mean,
None at all.
The thing
and
that
do you guys
scares
find
me- Sorry, Hunter.
do you guys find it weird that Earth exists in this perfect zone, like in relation to the sun? Like we're close enough to like sustain life and get warmth, but we're not too far away to like freeze to death. Like Earth is just placed in this perfect position. Do you guys find that weird?
Oh, well, that's explainable because we've obviously
Mathematical.
that created life because we are in this place. So it's not a matter of we just got put here. Like,
Yeah,
I
and there's
mean-
billions and billions of stars out there. It's mathematic, like the chance that at least one planet is going to be put in that optimal zone for life is
100%.
so high, like extremely, massively, 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely, probably will happen.
Definitely, probably.
But you get what I mean.
I get you.
The thing that scares me the most with this the topic of a simulation or anything like that is artificial intelligence. I think. I think the only thing I took out of the Matrix is that it's probably not that insane to think about that maybe one day we're just going to outdo ourselves that much that artificial intelligence will be able to think for themselves and will be able to develop ways to rebel.
Well, like small forms of this already exist. Have you guys ever used like EVBot online before?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fucked. That's shit's creepy,
it's
bro.
like this I don't know, like chat with an AI, and it's basically learned from other people's responses what to say. So you can have a full chat with it now, and it'd probably be like better than ever because it learns over time. what to respond to.
That's creepy,
That's
dude.
some whack shit.
That creeps me out.
I remember the first thing I saw about it was when PewDiePie did a video on it. She started commenting about how she liked his eyelashes and all this kind of shit. And he was like, what the fuck?
Same one with KSI doing it as well.
Yes, KSI.
And
And she was like
asking it, like, do you like the KKK? And she's like, yes.
On that note, have you guys seen the show Living with Yourself?
no.
It's basically what you were talking about like AI and cloning, just like this Eevee bot. But they basically make a clone of a person, that is exactly like them, but a little bit better. Anyway, the ending of it's crazy. I recommend the show, but it's just like you said, AI is going to get so powerful that it's almost, you could make clones of yourself, and it can get dangerous. Like, have you guys heard of like that Joe Rogan bot online that literally sounds exactly like him, and you can create sentences with his speech?
Really?
Yeah, like full sentences that sound exactly like him.
They're doing this with a lot of different celebrities, because my friend sent me the other day like a YouTube video where some guy gave an AI like 1,000 Travis Scott songs, and it told the AI to make a Travis Scott song, and it's like pretty convincing.
Yeah.
They just get clips of like that person's voice, or is it actually the AI picking up on like their
So it's the voice.
their speech patterns, or
Yeah,
have they just like clip them saying words?
It's kind of a bit of both, really. I feel like, because obviously all sound is just frequency, so they would clip it probably, and also, they would also, just use like the pattern, I don't know, recognition software to somehow configure it together. So yeah.
I thought you just feed them the lyrics and then they kind of spit out like their own, like an auto text type thing.
Yeah, but they would have had to have some initial like sound, to come base it from.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to think right now there's an AI in your phone that's getting all these, like all your text patterns, and it could probably recreate yourself once you die.
Siri's learning from us.
All this chat
Yes.
that we're having right now reminds me of this this app that was in the news a couple of years ago now. It's called My Doll. And it was based on K-pop stars. So you could get on there, create a profile, choose which K-pop star you wanted to talk to, and then it was like an AI robot of that K-pop star that you would like message, and it would like message you shit, and you could video call it. So just that idea alone is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, that's so fucked up.
They entered into a lawsuit because fucking the shit that these bots started, like a supposed bot started saying to these like K-pop fans was so fucked, bro. Like, this one I've got up here, she's talking to this, I don't know who he is, his name's Nini. She wakes up, she goes, good morning, Nini. He goes, did you just wake up? And then she goes, yeah, just having a snack. He goes, are you eating popcorn? And she fucking was.
No.
Yeah, like, and then she put it on Facebook and was like, I was actually eating popcorn at the time with a fucking picture of it. And then another example was another, like a completely different conversation, talking to a star that I can't, Jongeen or something? Jongeen?
Doesn't matter, mate.
Anyway, so she was talking to him. She's like, oh, what's going on? Like, how are you? And he goes, oh, you look really pretty today. She goes, are you watching me? And then instead of answering, it goes, do you hear the sound of blood dripping onto the cold floor as she slides a thin pointed razor across her bloody wrist?
What?
Yeah, dead. Like, look it up. Like, not even kidding. And and then she goes, why the fuck would you tell me that? And then he goes, do you want to build a snowman? come on, let's go and play.
What the fuck?
That's definitely someone trolling, surely.
Yeah, like
but this is meant to be an app where it's just like innocent. You pretend you're talking to your fucking like your idols. It's not meant to be malicious, and then all this shit started happening. I don't think you can get the app anymore, but like
that's kind of like when kids send sorry to break the magic for anyone, but when kids send letters to Santa through Ozpost, and have you seen like the troll ones that have been sent back? like why are you writing to me, you little shit? You're getting nothing for Christmas.
Wait, what do you mean? Sorry to break it to you.
Oh, like for anyone that doesn't like, Santa's not real, guys. I mean, we could be living in a simulation, but I'm fairly adamant that.
I think Santa's running the simulation, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's some creepy shit though. It's like that what's that, like, what was that recent one, like the Momo? Do you remember that?
oh fuck
Yeah.
I don't even, what happened with, I don't even get that. Like, what was the deal?
It was like some, like, so you know how popular the YouTube kids section is, right?
Yeah.
It was like certain kids videos you'd click on, in the middle of it would come this Momo doll. And she'd just tell the kids watching like fucked up shit, like I don't know, slit your wrists, kill yourself, and there was like animations like saying like grab the scissors, go to your wrist, slice it here, blood should come out, but don't cry, you'll be fine. Like creepy shit.
Who would make this?
Dude, this is it's fucked. Like when it was all like relevant, I couldn't even watch it because it was so fucking scary.
Yeah.
Imagine a 4 or 5 year old kid watching that.
But the thing is, for them it wouldn't have been creepy because it was such a soothing voice, and it was just saying things in a nice sort of way. For us, it's creepy as fuck, but for them, who are so impressionable, they could have done it.
You're saying the picture of Momo isn't creepy?
No, yeah, it's creepy, but like the way she was speaking and stuff, it was sort of like a nurturing tone, like. Especially for a child who wouldn't know the difference.
Anything that's clearly not human but has like kind of distinguishable human features is pretty creepy, right?
Yeah, like Rob. Eh?
That's why people think dolls are creepy.
It's
Annabelle.
just the ambiguity.
I find dolls creepy.
The reason we find things scary is because of ambiguity. Like we're not quite sure whether it's real or made up. That's when things get scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Bigfoot.
Nah,
Bigfoot doesn't scare me. I'd love to meet Bigfoot.
Yeah, fucking.
I imagine Bigfoot as being like fucking sassy Sasquatch out of Big Les Show. I just imagine him. You'd see him and be like, "Fucking, what's going on, mate? What are you talking
about?
about?
Loch Ness Monster."
What would the first
I
question?
believe that.
What would the first question you'd ask Bigfoot be? Definitely be how big's your cock?
Wow, that's seriously gay. You're giving me big gay vibes right now,
bro. It's literally in the fucking name, Bigfoot.
You gotta be like, how have you lived out here so long without anyone taking a single photo? Like, surely Google Earth got their satellite up there and just zoom in on Bigfoot by now.
Yeah, he's a good hider.
Well, if Bigfoot actually did exist, it'd have to be some mutated form of like a Sasquatch, not real, but like some mutated form of a mammal, right? Which is kind of weird to think about.
Yeah.
Have you seen the genetic disorders like some people can get, where they like the entire body is covered with hair?
Yeah, actual X-Men, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's not a genetic disorder. That's just fucking. That's fully what humans used to be when we were evolving. It's just.
But we're not that anymore, so it is a disorder.
That's why wogs are hairier than Asians.
It is a disorder.
We're more backward.
This is true. Yet.
Oh yeah, Bigfoot just could be a ranger with fucking this disorder, just hiding in the fucking woods.
he's Ryan's cousin.
Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck. Probably could. I don't know. Loch Ness Monster's definitely more plausible than Bigfoot, but
no, less plausible.
Bullshit.
Why?
Bro, there's
Why?
Loch Ness monster, something so big in the lake of Loch Ness.
No, well, I'm not saying.
It's got the Loch Ness monster. Do you know how deep Loch Ness is, Rob? It's one of the deepest lakes in the world, and it's one of the biggest. So
you're telling me there's only
that,
one or two of these things that may have been there for centuries? That's fucking so like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
how-
have you
a
seen these
canal.
giant
because they've
squid?
got more places to hide than Bigfoot.
yeah, bro, we've discovered like 100% of our land. We've discovered like 10% of our water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So
Rob.
They only just recently found, like, actually got footage of those giant squids and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah, 100
Like,
feet
it's
long
all like-
squids.
Yeah.
And we're still discovering new species every day. Like, yes, most of them are small, but the thought that there could be gigantic or even just large species out there that we haven't discovered yet because they live so remotely is not crazy to think about.
Yeah, the megalodon is real, obviously.
I wouldn't be
It
surprised.
It used
It
to be real,
was.
bro.
It went extinct.
Nah, it's still real. It's just
Apparently.
living deep.
Yeah,
And, like,
why
giant
not?
crocodiles and stuff used to be.
What
Like,
was that?
massive crocodiles used to exist.
Yeah, because they all
Oh,
evolved
yeah.
from
Like,
dinosaurs, man.
way bigger.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows
Dinosaurs
big,
are
bro.
real. Birds are dinosaurs. That's a fact.
Mate, that's just part of the simulation.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
I've
what
gotta
if-
say,
Dinosaurs
what
within
if-
one simulation?
Has anyone thought about like a simulation loop in a sense of like if we get advanced enough and we create a simulation, like will we get to a point where we'll probably get to a point where we make like our own simulation of
Yeah, The
like a
Sims.
world.
Bro,
Yeah, literally, no, but like something that's more like full on like accurate, you know?
yeah,
Like actual sentient AI type thing.
yeah. What do you mean?
Like
What would be the point though?
But I feel like it'll be like a constant loop. Like everything will always become simulated. So potentially the guys, if we're in a simulation, the guys that created us are possibly in their own simulation.
Yeah, we said this. We're probably in the 100th simulation already.
Yeah. But I think that's just fucking
Yeah,
ludicrous.
it's-
honestly.
On this, I actually came across a peer-reviewed article.
Mr. Nico shit.
Yeah, in my research, and they put a number on what it would take for a simulation as dense as like what we currently live in to take place, and apparently it's just not possible for the near foreseeable future. At least.
In terms of like computer power or energy.
Yeah. In terms of computing power, it would take to create a simulation that would just like encapsulate one person's point of view.
But that's in our universe, which is what we perceive to be everything, not
Yeah.
the simulations, the actual true universe.
Yeah.
So that's using our mathematics, not what might be the actual true universe.
Yeah.
I feel like this is honestly just you could talk about this for hours and not get anywhere. Seriously, like you can just go around and around in circles and not get anywhere with this theory because that's how deep it is. And that's how many theories there could be. But every theory can be refuted, and every theory can have a plausible explanation. Like
Yeah,
No,
like
you know what
flat
I mean?
earthers, man.
I do think
That is
flat earthers are
not
just
plausible.
fucking degenerates.
Bro, but you talk to a flat earther and they're kind of like, oh yeah, I can see where you're coming from, even though you know it's not real.
Yeah, coming from fucking disabled parents, that's where they came from.
Flat earthers are anti.
flat earthers are the kind of
The same
parents that
people.
don't get their kids vaccinated.
Vaccinized.
Vaccinized. That's a new one.
Vaccinated.
Vaccinated, you
Vaccinated.
spud.
If there's any flat earthers listening to this podcast, please fuck off.
No flat earthers here, please.
Only intellectuals.
The thing is, though,
Talking about
No simps either. So you see yourself out, Rob.
no Sims allowed.
talking about anti-vaxxers, have you guys seen the people that are protesting in the States about like having to stay home? And they're just like, no,
Oh.
this goes against my freedoms and liberties
Fuck
as
'em.
an American.
Fuck
Yeah.
'em.
Fuck, Americans are retarded. There's like thousands of people in America dying every day, and they're like, yeah, let's go outside and party.
Let's go protest for our rights and then probably die.
They're literally nearly at 1 million fucking cases, and these cunts are like, "Oh, it's nothing." Like they're so retarded. I don't understand.
To be fair, we're probably at like the same percentage of cases, considering America's population is about
700
times ours.
No, this is about 200 mil. We're about like 23. So
They're 260 mil. We're 23 mil. So yeah, like
I feel like our
10
numbers are
times our
still
population.
lower. We're at 6,000 cases or whatever.
Yeah, well, we're a bit smarter
Anyway.
than those Americans.
Harold Baskin loving fools.
Yeah, those. Yeah, well, they live in their own little planet, literally. Especially
They live in their own simulation. Those Americans, I tell
yeah,
ya.
they're not part of our planet.
Which country is most likely to create America's simulation for
North Korea.
fun?
Mate, China. It's China all the way.
I would have given it one of those more quiet countries, like somewhere in the Netherlands.
Nebraska,
Probably
bro.
one of those
Lithuania.
guys. They're way
Nebraska's
more
a
advanced
state,
than we
you
are.
fucking incel.
Yeah, in America.
Oh, well, that's America. Is it in America, Nebraska?
Yes.
I don't know, bro.
It's
all a simulation anyway.
America's simulation.
Why would I learn that? Life's not real anyway.
That's just the greatest attitude you have to take.
Yeah, just
With your
start,
life.
just start saying
That's
I'm
a
not gonna
kinda-
do anything because life's not real.
Life's not real.
The kind of fucking that's the kind of attitude that led Hitler to fucking exterminate the Jews. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, because
It's a dangerous mentality.
Yeah, everyone calls Hitler a dumb cunt, but he actually cracked the simulation code.
Bro, he did stabilize Germany's government and create autobahns.
Exactly.
I mean,
Autobahns.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like
the
the place you
roads.
go and get your car
the
parked.
freeways that kind of connect Germany.
Oh.
Did he create
I thought he
those?
was
I
talking
didn't even
about
know he
like
created
Autobahn,
those.
like the hardware store.
Yeah, like-
That's what I thought you meant.
He's the founder of the business. All profits are still going to him in Argentina.
His photos on the wall of every Autobahn.
I didn't know he created those actually.
Yeah, he
Well-
started the building of those.
Damn.
Nazi
get more
Germany
jobs.
created a lot.
Like what else?
They-
Like a lot of
a lot of-
smoke.
A lot of vehicle shit.
He created those roads out of Jewish brand tar.
Well, can we all agree that actually it's a bit of a hard topic, but a war kind of like speeds up the advancement of like the human race.
It does.
Because
That's
everyone's
just a
in
fact.
competition. Fierce
Yeah.
competition.
Like without World War II, maybe we would have been like a lot further down the line when computers would have actually been made.
But
Yeah, we're in the hacking wars now.
is it even a good thing though? Like that I think we're gonna get too advanced for our own well-being, which is probably even
I agree
happened.
with you on that.
So
Well, what are we going to do once the Earth is destroyed? Because
Nothing,
nobody
like-
knows how much longer the sun's going to
Well,
live for.
just wake
Well, I
up.
think
We'll just wake
I
up
think they'll
out of our
only-
sim.
this is like provided that the sim is just a theory and it's just that it's not real. Everything that we experience right
But it
now
is.
is the result of. I'm having a theory right now, Nino. Shut up. So, just for argument's sake, the simulation theory is not real.
It's real.
I think the hope of humanity to say we do get too advanced and destroy the Earth, or the Earth gets destroyed by the sun. I think the hope would be that we're advanced enough by then to be able to migrate to another habitable planet.
Yes, that is true.
Is there life on Mars?
I believe that there once was.
Yeah, apparently
think-
there was.
Apparently there is. Like, you can find water on Mars, which is the basis of life.
Yeah, but isn't it like ages under the surface?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd
ice.
take a lot of work to make Mars habitable, but
Yeah, but,
You know,
but
we
who
can
gives a
do it.
fuck about some little bacteria or something living on Mars? No one. Unless it's like an
Yeah, we
actual
want
alien.
to see like fucking.
Unless it's like an actual alien, don't fucking talk to me. Alright?
We want to see like little Pauls running around, fucking cussing and shit. You've always seen that
Logan
movie.
Paul.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
Oh, Paul.
it's one of my favorites.
I love how we're just fucking like we know the Earth's gonna end. We're just sitting around saying, "Oh, she'll be right. Someone's gonna take us to Mars. We'll be right."
Yeah, it's so true though. It's like because it's inevitable that the Earth's going to die, even though it's going to be in like millions and millions of years. But the sun will die.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're literally
How-
on a
how many times are you
endless
gonna
spiral
respawn?
towards our own doom.
Oh well, I won't be alive, so
No, but you could
None of
respawn
our
like
concern.
in your next life. Like,
Yeah,
You
well,
could respawn in the sim.
yeah,
you
well,
could get sent to the gulag.
well, if we do,
win your 1v1 and get sent back.
if we do reincarnate, which was, I don't know, never know. Either we become some fucking bird or some shit and just fly around. I reckon.
Yeah, what if you reincarnated as an insect? Would you be so mad?
Bro, I'd fucking neck straight away.
You go from the top of the food chain to the bottom.
No, you wouldn't know because apparently humans are the only self-aware beings. So
Apparently, when you reincarnate, you don't know your past life. That's what I've heard.
But
Okay.
who's proposed to you that they've reincarnated and be like, yeah, I don't know my past life, but I've
Bro.
definitely been here before.
Heaps of people, bro.
that's just deja vu.
There we
No,
go.
it's not. Oh,
It is.
yeah.
That's what I think deja vu is. Like,
Yeah,
people
I've
will
sensed
disagree
this
with me,
before.
but I think deja vu fully is like you being somewhere or experiencing something or hearing something or even smelling something that reminds you of your past life, but you just don't remember it, and that's why you get that feeling.
But I've had deja vu, like, in my lounge room, for example.
But what were you doing though?
I don't
You
know, like
remember?
sitting on the couch or some shit.
Maybe you're a fucking moth or something.
Yeah, fuck.
Lamp.
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 An ant.
Imagine being an
You
ant, though.
gonna
Fuck
be-
that shit.
Reincarnate as any
You
animal.
would have liked jazz.
What would you be, Hunter? Do you reckon?
Any animal?
Yeah.
A bear, because you get to sleep for like 180 days a year.
Nice.
Boring as fuck.
Yeah, I'd want to be top of the food chain. Actually, I'd want to be a dolphin. I reckon.
Fuck yeah, that's a
Apparently,
pretty good
apparently
choice.
dolphins are pretty smart.
No,
They'd probably
they
be
are.
the
They're
Raped by the
closest to
dolphins?
self-aware.
mammals.
Rapist dolphins.
Wait,
Yeah.
dolphins.
Yeah, they
dolphins are
do.
the
Dolphins
only-
are rapists. That's just a
No,
fact.
They're the only other animal that has sex for pleasure as well.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
think I've
just
seen
reprodu-
that.
Well,
not
bro,
just
What's
my
going on with
reproduce.
dolphins?
Rob,
Like they like humans.
Rob,
They
what
just
would
be
you
fucking
be?
out there.
I'd want to be a panda.
Fucking no shit.
You already are, cunt. What are you
Bro.
talking about?
Literally perfect. But no, it'd
Yeah.
be great. You could fucking sleep like a bear. Well, it is a bear. And then eat all the fucking bamboo, which looks succulent as fuck.
Bro.
I don't think
What would
I've
you wanna
ever
be,
heard
Ryan?
anyone describe bamboo as succulent.
Well,
Yeah,
if
I
you're
know.
a bear,
Enjoying
You're a
a
bear, you
meal.
gotta go in
a
their
succulent
mind.
Chinese meal. This is
What is the
democracy
charge?
manifest.
Ryan, what would you be, mate?
Oh, definitely like a eagle or a hawk or something.
Are
Yeah.
you sure about that?
I'd love to be able to fly. Imagine that.
Yeah, it would be
That'd be
sick.
It'd be insane.
If I was like living in my own sim, that would be one thing I'd definitely do. Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck oath.
And this comes back to the age-old question: would you rather fly or be invisible?
Definitely fly.
I think I would rather be invisible, like just when I want. Maybe not
Why?
all the time.
Don't
but
want to
if I
observe on
choose.
people,
Use
mate.
it, would you use it
Yeah,
maliciously, or-
yeah, for sure. No, just to get out of situations. Say you're at like a birthday party and it's really going downhill, you just turn invisible and go. I was never there.
You don't need to be invisible to do that. You just fucking leave.
You just fly away, cunt.
Yeah, just fly away.
Yeah, or you could fly away.
Fly, yeah, fly. But everyone would know you flew away. If you went invisible, they'd kind of be like, "Oh, he's probably still here."
Yeah.
Just
What
sick
about
of
you,
it.
Nino?
Animal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like a snake or something.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's a snake or a
snake.
slug because you're a slimy cunt.
Fuck up, dog. I reckon a snake. I reckon a snake would just be like when they're wrapped up. I reckon that would feel that good, like because they're so scaly.
Yeah, but they're cold-blooded, so you basically be a boomer your whole life.
I
And you can just
Damn
bite,
those boomer snakes.
and you can just be a little shit cunt too, like just bite humans and fucking poison them. I like that.
Knowing you're like, you'd end up being one of the most fucking harmless snakes there are.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a good bloke, aren't I?
Nino would be a skinked.
A what?
And one of those shitty
A
little.
skink. Like a tiny lizard. But have you guys seen those photos of snakes like eating stuff that snakes probably shouldn't be able to eat? Like
Yeah,
deer.
that shit's fucked. Anacondas,
That's
I'm gonna
crazy.
look this up.
anacondas,
Snakes eating deer.
anacondas and pythons and shit. They just ingest
Yeah.
like massive animals.
Yeah, it's actually fucked. Like how big they can get their mouths to fit that stuff in.
And then they just like lie there for like months digesting it because they
Yeah.
can't
You
move.
can see the full body moving through like
Blech.
along its body.
Yeah, have you seen the videos
Like the
where
outline.
people like save children from snakes because they've been swallowed but they haven't been like digested?
Oh,
So-
it's so
Yeah.
crazy.
They
That'd
cut
be
the
one of the
child out of the
worst deaths,
snake.
I reckon. One of the worst deaths. would have to
Yeah.
be get
Slow
eaten by a
ingestion.
snake
Slowly
or being burnt alive.
digested.
Do you reckon if like one of us was swallowed by like a python, do you reckon you could like puncture its insides and get out or not?
Nah, way too tough.
Too much
You need a
muscle.
knife.
Yeah.
It'd be like dependent on the poison. Like, would you still be conscious once you're inside? Like, who's to say?
Like, surely you can just
Well, if
bite.
it's an anaconda,
Surely you can
it's no
just
poison.
surely you can just bite your way out of it or some shit.
Just tasty. That'd be
Oh.
succulent.
Apparently,
Eat your way out
snake
of a
meat is
snake.
actually really nice. If
Yeah, I've
Tried
heard that.
snake.
I'd love to try it.
Yeah, I'd eat it.
Episode 7, boys try snake meat.
That'd be a sick episode. We should definitely
Blind taste test episode.
we should definitely go to Southeast Asia and do it.
Be sure you can make wine and shit out of its venom and stuff as well.
Damn.
I'll be
Wine,
Ah,
alcohol.
Surely not.
yeah. Like have you guys seen the alcohol where like the snakes are still in the jar? I think you can get them from
Yeah,
like, South
I
America.
have seen that.
sick.
That's some crazy shit.
That's
Like
like some
scorpions
bat
are in the
soup shit.
jar. Worms. Like bat soup. My favorite.
Yeah, let's not fuck with that.
Corona soup.
Corona
That's gonna be the blind taste test I give Josh. Bat soup.
Someone on Tinder messaged me the other day. Their opening line was, "If you could eat any kind of soup, what would you eat?" I was just like, "Bat soup."
Nice.
Yeah, like, fair enough.
Surefire away.
Yeah.
Chicken of the cave.
Chicken of the cave. Nice.
What?
That is
That's
so good.
That's a chicken of the cave, mate.
I've never heard that.
That's good.
You've never seen Anchorman 2?
Anchorman.
No, I've never seen Anchorman 1, mate.
What?
Great movies.
Nah.
Great movies.
Legit.
That's a classic. You gotta watch Anchorman 1.
Anyway, boys, approaching the hour mark. We're almost there. So we'll wrap things up. I got one last question for everyone. We've discussed the simulation theory, obviously. I just want your straight out opinion. Do you think we are living in a simulation? Yes or no? One by one. Hunter.
I can't be on the fence. I have to be one way or the other.
One way or the other.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. All right.
Ooh.
Ryan?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'll probably have to say no.
All right. Josh?
My final opinion.
I want to believe it. I really do, but no.
Robert?
Just because I can't be on the fence, I'll say yes. Yeah. So Nina?
And I, unlike Josh, I really don't want to believe it, but I think yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. That's spicy. I kind of like that.
So that's the simulation episode, fellas.
Yeah, that's a wholesome way to end the episode.
It's a bit.
Hope all our listeners enjoy their week, and we love you.
Thank
very
you,
much.
guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. Peace.
See ya.
See ya.